Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. If we can now be seated, I think we might make a start to our evening. Thank you very much. Missing people. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Surf Life Saving is the largest volunteer movement of its kind in Tasmania, indeed Australia. It is a not-for-profit movement that exists only through community donations, fundraising and corporate sponsorship. Its activities address many community and government policies, such as safe communities, obesity, physical activity, youth development, training and education, family, and importantly, beach safety in Tasmania. The movement is part of the history, fabric, and future of this country. It represents the lifestyle, values, and beliefs of the Australian culture. It protects life, saves life, it promotes life. You create a safe environment in and around our beaches through patrols on, in and above the shore and through education and training programs. Since its humble beginnings 100 years ago here in Burnie, Surf Life Saving Tasmania has grown now to having a state centre, 22 surf life saving clubs and services located around our coastline and boast over 2,300 members who are all committed to saving lives and positively impacting our local communities. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 Tasmanian Surf Life Saving Awards of Excellence. We formally recognise our outstanding volunteers and sporting achievements in this wonderful atmosphere of camaraderie with fellow members, but more importantly, friendships that have been forged over many, many years. My name is Andrew Hopwood. It's my pleasure to be hosting tonight's function. I'd like to formally acknowledge our special guests who are here with us tonight. The Honourable Jeremy Rockcliffe, Deputy Premier of Tasmania, the Honourable Roger Yench, who I haven't met yet, but g'day there, Roger. Felix Ellis, MP, and Anita Dow, MP. I know that's Anita there because I went for a walk in Burnie and your photo was looming very large just down the street. You're not quite as big as what you are in that photo. I'll tell you what though, we could almost hold a little bit of parliament here. If we're holding time, we could have a quick sitting. We've got enough politicians. It's great to see the support from our government and our opposition. Surf Life Saving Australia National Chair Life Saving Chris Jacobson, Surf Life Saving Tas President Stephen Godfrey, Surf Life Saving Tas Directors and Life Members, Surf Life Saving Tasmania CEO Tony van der Enden, nominees, club members, staff, and of course our friends who are watching, and we say g'day to them via the club venues and their homes who can't be with us. But we put that initiative in there last year. Unfortunately, of course, this function couldn't go ahead, so it's great to have them with us. So just as a brief overview of tonight's proceedings, we'll be having presentations of caps for the Tasmanian Surf Life Saving Australia Life members. Then we'll be moving on to Surf Sports Awards, the Education Awards, Life Saving Awards, including Patrol Club of the Year, the Volunteer of the Year, and of course the Club of the Year, the Darkie Wilson Award. We'll be having two short breaks throughout the evening, if you're wondering if you can pop up at all. So, although we're running slightly behind, we'll have one for the main meal, which was meant to be there at 8 o'clock, and obviously a dessert followed at 9 o'clock. We'd very much like to recognise the support of our partners and thank them for their continued support for surf life saving in Tasmania, particularly the Tasmanian Government, Ampol, DHL, Isuzu and Westpac. And talking of those partners, it was really interesting. Just early this week, we had a problem with one of the cameras, so I got out my Westpac credit card, quickly ordered on the phone to DHL. They had it here overnight. Duff, Jerry and myself hopped in our Isuzu four-wheel drive and headed up the highway. But we had to refuel at those magnificently rebadged Ampol service stations that you will see. And the three of us, I'm sorry, Anita, we back winners in the state government, so we thank them all. But next time through, all of our partners, very much indeed for getting behind Surf Life Saving Tasmania. So potentially to get this surf boat away from the beach, a man with the great vision to get us through the rough weather and conditions, can we please make welcome Surf Life Saving Tasmanian President, Mr. Stephen Godfrey.
Thank you, Andrew. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Surf Life Saving in Tasmania, I welcome you here tonight. In doing so, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather here tonight and pay respects to the elders past, present and future. I also extend our respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Islanders people here tonight. I also acknowledge our guests and welcome Jeremy, Roger, Felix and Anita. I also acknowledge our life members present here tonight, my fellow directors, Greg Bird, Alex Garrett, Gabe Gossix, Joe Stolp and Graham Rowlands, to our club presidents and to our Hall of Fame members. I'd also like to recognise the chair of our advisory committees, both Julian Hickey and Don Marsh, and to the members of both the Life Saving and Surf Sports Committee for the work they've done throughout the season. That work is very much appreciated. Unfortunately, as Andrew mentioned, due to COVID-19, our National President, John Baker, and our CEO, Adam Weir, are unable to attend, but they do extend their apologies. Also, the fact is tonight is that these events just don't happen. They recognise the hard work of which people behind the scenes do that, and I'd particularly like to thank Karen Blakely in terms of that. To the members who formed the selection committees for these awards tonight, thank you for your work. I mean, it's great to be here tonight. Unfortunately, as we know, last year we weren't able to meet. Luckily enough, here in Tasmania, we've been able to do that compared to some of our colleagues on the mainland. And it exceptionally recognised the fact that we are here in Burnie in the year of which the Burnie Surf Life Saving Club celebrates its centenary, which also represents 100 years of surf life saving in Tasmania. We should also recognise the fact that the year also means the 40 years of women in surf life saving. Women in surf life saving have grown over the years from being a handful of people, of which we had a couple of the original ones here in Tasmania, to now being in Tasmania represents in effect 52% of our membership. And it's great to see that the involvement of the women in surf life saving and the contribution they are making to this great movement. And it's fitting also this afternoon that there was a forum of women who looked at where surf life saving and women could go into the future, what we can do to encourage more females into our movement, and how best we can accommodate those and move forward. And we look forward to seeing the results of that as we go down the track. These awards recognise those who have excelled, be that a member of a club, as a team or as an individual. In acknowledging these outstanding achievements, we must also remember that we are a voluntary organisation and all members are winners. The awards cover all aspects of activities of life-saving, community programs, right through to marine rescue to surf sports. All are very integral components of the way in which we operate and the life that we live as surf lifesavers. To tonight's nominees, congratulations, and we look forward to hearing about your achievements during the course of the evening. Again, welcome everyone, and to commence the formal proceedings, I now invite the Honourable Jeremy Rockcliffe MP to say a few words on behalf of the Tasmanian Government.
Thank you very much, Stephen, and thank you for your acknowledgement of country as well, and I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land of which we stand, be seated, and acknowledge the elders past, present and emerging. Can I acknowledge Chris Jacobson, National Chair of Life Saving, and to you, Stephen, thank you very much as Surf Life Saving Tasmania President for a number of years, and I think it's probably 10 or 11. You're nodding your head about that. And that's an incredible commitment. And I think that might be coming to an end reasonably shortly. given I think you designed the Constitution so it could, is that right? But anyway, it is a marvellous contribution, and I've been to these functions for many years, and you've always been part of it, so it's an incredible contribution, as indeed all the people that are involved with Surf Life Saving Tasmania at an executive level, and of course those at the grassroots level that I'll come to in a moment. Can I acknowledge my parliamentary colleagues Roger Yench, MP, Felix Ellis, MP, is here, somewhere there. There he is. Who's, is it Patrol Captain, Boat Harbour Surf Life Saving Club, so intimately involved, Felix, thank you. And Anita Dow, Deputy Leader and of course local member, and you must be very proud of your city, Anita, celebrating its centenary. And we're probably under 20% of the Tasmanian lower house of the Parliament here, but we're all on a significant unity ticket when it comes to our support for Surf Life Saving Tasmania, and we all take our hats off to all the work that you do, so thank you very much. And of course to acknowledge, most importantly, the heart of Surf Life Saving, that is our volunteers, valued members, of course the life members that have been recognised here this evening as well, and the families that support all our volunteers and those on patrol that work and dedicate their time to ensure the organisation can do exactly what it does in supporting local communities and saving lives. And so it's with that sentiment that it's wonderful to be here tonight to welcome you all to the 2021 Awards of Excellence, a night which celebrates the people who are the backbone of this organisation, to celebrate the people who keep Tasmanians safe and who keep communities connected. And on a broader level, I know the Premier would like me to thank each and every one of you for your support in keeping Tasmanians safe more broadly over the course of the last 12 to 18 months. It has been a very difficult and challenging time, and this event could not proceed last year because of the situation with respect to the pandemic, although I think there was some virtual awards held. So it's great to be back together again, but thank you for all the work that you've done ensuring that we can keep our community safe in what has been an enormously challenging time. Whether it's from the nippers through to the veterans, Surf Life Saving gives people the opportunity to participate in a range of beach sporting activities in a welcoming and inclusive club environment. But indeed, Surf Life Saving, of course, as you know, is not just a sport. For many, it is a way of life, a connection to the natural environment and to other people in the community, which I know has been more and more important over the course of the last year. It also provides an essential educational and emergency rescue service for our community. With over 60 rescues in 2019-20, 70 first aid treatments, I'm advised, and 2,301 preventative actions, along with an extraordinary 20,800 hours of volunteer patrol, I take my hat off to you and thank you wholeheartedly on behalf of not only the Tasmanian Government and all members of Parliament, but the entire Tasmanian community for the work that you do, and we very much appreciate that. Of course, it's not just about the beaches. Surf Life Saving Tasmania and its members provided assistance with Tasmania when we faced the damaging floods more recently, or 3 or 4 years ago now, as well as with search and rescues in the past, and there's a very close connection with our emergency services personnel and Surf Life Saving Tasmania. Tony van den Enden informs me that you also have something to do. You're the only Australian Surf Life Saving entity that supports and gives advice to Survivor and Love Island. Is that right? My daughters would love to hear that, even though I'm not a massive fan of Love Island, I have to say. Survivor I can handle well and truly, but Love Island I'm not sure. But nonetheless, it's great that Surf Life Saving Tasmania can at least assist in that area. But I was having a quick chat to Tony today. He's going to put in the word for at least Survivor, I hope, that we need one of those down here, I think, so we can experience that, so we can support that as well. We live on an island, of course, so we want to ensure that all Tasmanians can participate safely in their aquatic activities for their health, their safety and their well-being. We love to be involved in sport. We love the recreation in our beaches, rivers and our lakes. And the surf life saving movement is a crucial part of the social fabric of our community. It represents the lifestyle, the values and the beliefs of our culture. And we are certainly proud, when I say we, every single Tasmanian Member of Parliament, irrespective of government or opposition, supports Surf Life Saving Tasmania. We are on a unity ticket. We made, each of us, significant contributions in terms of commitments to the last election, which whoever was supported at the last election, Surf Life Saving Tasmania would be supported. So we are absolutely on the one page there. Can I congratulate all the nominees today for tonight's awards, your commitment and dedication to your work, and of course to the organisation. I have a bit to do with a few clubs about the North West Coast. I'm constantly amazed of the commitment, the dedication of the people behind the scenes, those people patrolling, and all the work that goes on to ensuring that you are well and truly, after 100 years, are certainly an entrenched part and an enormously valued part of our Tasmanian community. And I thank and I congratulate you all, and have a great evening. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Jeremy. Fantastic. So as we said, John Baker couldn't be here, but I believe, Karen, we do have a message from John, so we will now have a listen to that message. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 Awards of Excellence. My name is John Baker, and I'm the new President of Surf Life Saving Australia. I was looking forward to joining you in person, but I'm glad I can still say a virtual thank you. Tonight, Surf Life Saving Tasmania will recognise members who have excelled at what they do or have made an extraordinary contribution to our movement in Tasmania and across the country. I'd like to warmly congratulate all the award winners, and I hope you have a great night. Surf Life Saving is one of the greatest humanitarian organisations in the country. No other organisation does what we do, and we have truly a unique DNA. We're a vital emergency service. We're an iconic Australian sport. We're a youth movement, and we are a registered training organisation. We're also vibrant community hubs for thousands of families around the country. Surf Life Saving is the largest volunteer organisation. We are the largest volunteer emergency service, and we're also the largest youth movement in the country. I want to thank all members of Surf Life Saving Tasmania for all that you do for our movement and the communities you protect. And I wish you all the best for a safe and successful summer to come.
Terrific. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, John. Can I ask Stephen Godfrey to come back up for the presentations of Surf Life Saving Australia CAP recipients? That'll be fantastic. So this is a great initiative that started, I believe, in 2020, where each life member gets a numbered cap. So fantastic. I'll turn it over to you, Stephen.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to do this. This is an initiative of Surf Life Saving Australia to further recognise their life members, and the notion is to have a cap number in the order of which they're inducted in to be life members of Surf Life Saving Australia. I have to say that on behalf of Surf Life Saving Australia, which I'm a director of that particular board, that due to circumstances in terms of COVID, the ability to get the people together to be able to present these caps at a national level has not been all that successful. We have tried on several occasions now to do this down here in Tasmania, but we were going to do it last year in terms of the awards, but unfortunately, as we know, that didn't occur. We've tried again. We thought tonight maybe John would have been here as the President of Surf Life Saving to present it, and it's just one of those things. So look, I do apologise that this has taken some time. However, it gives me great pleasure to be able to present these caps to the life members of Surf Life Saving who are present here tonight, and their thing. So the first one is to Ken Knight. And Ken is cap number 140. Did you? You going to say anything or not? You got a minute.
I was told earlier in the night that I've got to wear this. Now, I think I'll decline the offer, thank you very much. Just a couple of little things. As you get older, you tend to forget things. But the older you get, the more you can think back and remember things. And I can remember a few things about some of our older members here tonight, and I'd like them just to remember that I can remember, and for them to get off my back. But on the more serious side, I well remember 1978 at Kingscliff, where the Aussies were held, and I received my life membership of the Surf Life Saving Australia. It was a great moment in my life. Thank you so much to the national people and to the state people.
The next cap to be presented is for Harold Binny Wilson, BME from the Olsen Club deceased, and that his son Greg will come and accept that award on his behalf. Binny was number 160. So the next one is to Norman Darkey Wilson, OAM, again from the Olsen Surf Life Saving Club, and to accept that on behalf of the family is Julian Moore, President of Olsen Surf Life Saving Club. So Darkey's was number 57, so he was early on in the piece. And the final one is to Alan Sloan, who's also the Olsen Surf Life Saving Club deceased, and Julian will also accept that on his behalf. And his cap number 78, and my understanding is those ones for both Binny and for Darkey will go up in the Olsen Surf Life Saving Club's rooms. So, thank you very much.
Thanks very much. It's interesting. Now, Ken, I'm not going to start a conversation again, but you and I had a little bit of a chinwag, and I remember Duff down there, we ran out of battery when we sat down at Penguin last time and had a bit of a chinwag, but it's great to hear you regaling one or two quiet little stories here, and you're up and about and looking as fit as a trout, so fantastic. So now we might get underway, ladies and gentlemen, with the Surf Sports Awards, and if I can please ask this man who's been in the caper for many a long day, he's probably going to correct me, but I think about 1966, you might have started in the Surf Life Saving, and of course in 2019 was inducted into the Australian Surf Life Saving Masters Hall of Fame, an icon of Surf Life Saving, Don Marsh. Welcome, Don. Please come forward. And also to assist is Anita Dow, MP, I believe, also a member of the Burnie Surf Life Saving Club as well. Please come forward. Thank you. Now, Don, I believe to get us underway, we're the official of the year.
Who's got the big feet? And thank you, Ken, for not regaling any of the stories. I'm sure you will later. Look, it's my pleasure to present to you the nominees for the Surf Sports Awards. And as I quickly reflect on the past season, we certainly kicked off with very tentative steps back in October with coming out of COVID and just a little bit of concern. But in the end, we had a very successful year. We did not have to cancel any events. In fact, our participation in all areas was well up on the previous years. And I guess the highlight to that was the fact that we had a 30% participation rate of all our patrolling members. This goes well against the national figure of just 10%. So 30% of our patrolling members are involved in events throughout the state. And I guess the other highlight was the fact that we had a near record 88 members attend the Aussie titles on the Sunshine Coast. And again, it was with, I guess, trepidation, but with great planning, that the Australian Surf Life Saving titles were able to proceed. And for those that were there, it was an absolute highlight and bring back the Sunshine Coast, as indeed it will be, for any time they want to have it there. Okay, so moving along, first of all, the official of the year. And they're not all on the screen yet, but you will see from the calibre of the nominees in this category that this would have been a very tough task for the selection panel to choose them. So those nominees were Craig McKinnon from Carlton Park, Mark Lehman from Burnie, Mark Cupid from Kingston Beach, and if you'd like to come forward, actually, and there's more to come, so those three people, if you could come forward onto the podium or along the start there, be good. Heather Morris from Penguin, and I don't believe Heather is with us, she's now locked down in Yamba, I would say, unable to get out, and Liz Eustace of Ulverston. So congratulations to those very fine people. The Surf Sports Executive spent a lot of time this year in ensuring that our officials were really prepared for the year. We went on a recruiting campaign, a mentoring campaign, and I believe that still work to be done, but we made a lot of progress. The official of this year is someone who has played a big part in recruiting and mentoring people. Liz Eustace is the winner of the official of the year. Liz goes about her work much of the time behind the scenes in the preparation for carnivals and after carnivals. And I guess one of the highlights for me was watching her at the Masters at Boat Harbour, not competing, but recruiting some of our younger members to be officials and then mentoring them through that process. She's more than happy to help, both on and off the beach. So well done, Liz. You come forward.
Now, Don, I'm just going to ask, you might be an icon, but you just sort of bumble roughly there. I think you've probably stolen a lot of all the thunder, but I understand too you're a bit of a whiz at the systems and getting all the data in, and also being a bit of a mother hen and making sure everyone enters so the carnivals get underway. So thank you very much for that. Is that very time consuming for you?
Yes, it is, but I enjoy doing that. And most weeks leading up to a carnival, I do chase up members or clubs to make sure their entries are in, and especially, and if they need any help with it, I'm always there to help as well.
So as a volunteer, why do it?
Because surf is my second family. I've been in Surf Life Saving since I was 6, so over 40 plus years. And still enjoy it. And
I noticed too, one of the things that you do is also mentoring other officials. I think that's quite cagey. It bolsters the numbers and it's your exit out. Would that be fair to say? Yep. Congratulations to our winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you, everyone. As I mentioned, the selection panels within the surf sports area was not just those members of the Surf Sports Executive, but others that I was able to tap on the head and be involved, and many had some pretty tough jobs to do, and that was certainly one of them. The next category is Coach of the Year, and there were 2 candidates for this. Jono Price and Maddie McBride. Now again, I know Jono's locked up in New South Wales, unfortunately, as we know, unless he's escaped. Maddie. I'm sure Jono is watching, and the best of luck to you, Jono, and the family in that move to Newcastle. I watched with great interest and the development of Maddie McBride at Kingston Beach. I guess it's true to say that Kingston Beach has not been at the forefront of surf sports in recent years. Maddie, as many would know, is from interstate, from South Australia, Seacliff Club, no? Somerton, got it. And to me, she's added a real sparkle to Kingston Beach. She's recruited people, she's trained them, and she's been a great mentor. So the winner of the Coach of the Year is Maddie McBride.
Congratulations, Maddie. Now, this one's a little bit close to my heart because it was back, I think, in 1998 when my son decided to do Auskick. I said to my wife, I'm away for business. Just let the club know that, I'll help out. And a bag of balls arrived, and so for 22 years I've been a coach of Australian football. So I know what goes into it, but reading some of the things that you've done, you really have transformed the way the club does things. From what I understand, you really got some structure into that. So tell me a little bit about the structure, what you put in place down at your club.
So we have a really great youth group at at Kingston. Not at Somerton anymore.
No, you're in Tassie now.
A really great group of, especially under 17s, and they're coming through the ranks. So basically, just kind of installed some regular trainings each week. Back when I started, we did a Tuesday and a Thursday, and Thursday has always been a big night for the club. We have our juniors there as well. And then slowly introduced other things, especially skis. So skis is something I'm really interested in. We've got more kids coming up, and it's great. And it's just everyone's friends, and it's just a really good community.
It's not only the youth retention, I think some of the parents have stayed on board, haven't they, and are now forming the masters as well, which is wonderful.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And they're coming to our sessions as well and competing against their kids at training, so it's a bit of, it's great.
Fantastic. Well, there we are, our Coach of the Year, Maddie McBride, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the Team of the Year, and there were 3 candidates. I'd asked one member of each of those teams if they could come forward. I don't think we'll fit all the teams on the podium. The Burnie Taplin teams of 3 that competed at the state titles and took first, second and third, which was an historical event. So if there's a member of that team that could come through. Oh, Stewie Payne. Well done, Stu. The under-23 Penguin Surfboat crew, could have a member of that crew come forward, and the Clifton Beach under-15 girls team. So the winner of the Team of the Year is the Penguin Patriots under-23 boat crew. This team has been progressing very well over the last few years and doing exceedingly well locally, but went on to be semi-finalists at the Aussies, 2 open boat medalists defending their 2019 title, and went to the Australian Surf Boat Rowers League and represented the state. So congratulations, Penguin Patriots. If you've got more members, bring them all up now.
Yeah, yeah. You can talk to.
Well, actually, it was last year I met Nick, and I was saying to him there wasn't enough hours in the day of the stuff that this young fella does around the surf club at Penguin. It was interesting, though, when we were doing the filming, we went down in the boats and I saw you training in the gym. And as Don sort of said, you went to the Nationals, and tell me about, I understand the conditions over there, very flat, very, very hard. Tell me about the conditions, and did that assist or not?
Oh, look, it's sort of hard to tell if it assisted us or not, but it definitely suited us coming from Tassie. It was just good, honest racing, and it was perfect to see where we actually sat in the country. So, yeah, we're pretty stoked with our performance up there, representing our club and obviously our state as well in surf boats.
So was it semi-finals?
Yeah, semi-finals, yep.
And so that said, as I understand as well, that you're going to have another year. So that really must give you a lot of confidence to come back and training. And if that's the case, how is the training going?
Look, it's sort of in the off-season at the moment, but we're still ticking over, sort of in the gym and on the water as much as we can. Sort of in the off-season, we sort of focus on other things like club events or just work. But yeah, we'll get going pretty soon, I reckon.
It's an amazing sport that I had some involvement with normal rowing, and the thing is, of course, if you're in an 8 and there's 7 turn up, you're screwed. So it is a commitment, isn't it? So is there anyone who's just a little bit loose on coming along to training?
Oh, we won't name names here
I
now,
guess it's not one person that's here, so
no,
maybe someone who didn't turn up.
Yeah, 2 of us are here, so we'll leave it up to you guys to decide, I reckon.
Indeed. Well, congratulations for our team of the year. Well done. Congratulations.
And remember, boys, you've only got 2 months to the first of the Endurance Series races. Okay, the Youth Athlete of the Year. I think it's true to say that our strength in this state lies with the under-17 and under-19 competitors. And again, this was a huge task for the selection panel to work there through the candidates for this award. And they were Cooper Armistead, Port Sorell, Jensen Walton, Ulverston, Lockie Hutton, Carlton Park, Kate Klingliffer, Clifton Beach, Phoebe Woodhouse of Burnie, and Lucy Dalco of Kingston Beach. And are any here, or is it too late? Thank you, if you could come forward. Yeah. As I say, this was a hotly contested award, and I guess it reflects the work of our youth coming through from nippers and moving into the under-17 and under-19 areas. The winner of this award certainly gave me a bit of a run for my money in the Endurance Series. And Phoebe Woodhouse, along with a couple of her good friends, attacked me at every point when our marathon ski paddling, which was fantastic. She's had an outstanding year at both statewide carnivals. She was fortunate enough to get away to a couple of interstate events, and I think that showed out at the Aussies. It's competed in 3 Aussie finals, including a 7th in the under-17 ski race. An awesome effort. So congratulations, Phoebe. But before you celebrate, I just wanted to make mention of Kate Klingliffer. Kate went away to the Aussies. Is Kate hiding somewhere? She normally does. Kate was a gold medalist in the under-15 2K beach sprint, and it's very rare for Tasmanians to pick up gold medals at the Australians. For those who don't know, there's over 6,500 competitors, and to go through the various heats and qualifying rounds. But Kate, and there's quite a story to it if you can engage with her, where she was tentative to even go in the 2K beach run, fronted up under her long-term beach coach, Graham Van Galen, was encouraged to run and took out that event convincingly. So well done, Kate. But it's now over to Phoebe. Andrew, I'm sure you've got some questions of Phoebe.
Thanks very much, Don. I guess the first one is, where do you find the time? I'm looking at your CV and what you've done, and just looking at every statewide surf sports carnival, the 3 marathons, all of the ocean swimming. Is there anything else in your life but this sport?
I do go to school, so I'm a Year 12 student at the moment, so that's taking up a lot of my time, which is a bit annoying, but that's all right.
A little bit annoying. I reckon in Olympic parlours, you're very much the Emma McKeon of surf life saving, with all the medals around your neck. What is your favourite discipline?
My favourite discipline at the moment is really tied between ski and the iron person. I love the endurance of the iron person, and just the ski, that was something new, so I'm enjoying that.
Is there any one particular person that you've modelled your racing or has been a really close mentor for you?
Mostly just the people that I train with at Burnie Surf Club. We have a really good squad, and I just look up to them like every training. Yeah, they're really positive, and they're good.
So tell me, you've taken out this award, which in the youth athlete, so what is it that you're going to build on this year, and what are your dreams/aspirations in the sport?
Well, in this coming year, I did plan to do the Coolangatta Gull, but that's been pushed into my exam timetable, so that's no longer anymore. But I'll just strive for Aussies in WA next year and just keep going there.
So that said, you see yourself competing at that national level on a more serious basis?
Yep, fingers crossed. Hopefully I'll move to Queensland in January, and that will kind of kickstart everything.
Well, as long as when you do, you compete and you take the top, well, not the top right off and have nothing on, but underneath there, just a minute, that you have the green and gold proudly emblazoned upon your chest.
Yes, I will always remember Tassie. I do love surf sports in Tassie.
Excellent work. Congratulations, Phoebe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, and I really worried where you were taking that.
So did I, Don.
The final award is the Athlete of the Year, and I guess this supports the comment I made earlier about the strength of our juniors. The nominees for this were Connor van der Ploeg, Cooper Armistead, Manny McBride, and Oliver Pooley. Sorry, Clifton Beach. Matty, you've already met. Cooper has been up here, Port Sorell, and Connor from Burnie. Four very fine athletes, but there can only be one winner. And I must say, it's fairly rare for mostly a beachy to win an award. Congratulations, Connor. And it's quite a CV. And that comment I can make, because I sit on the national selection, and it's really hard to pick a beach event competitor over an Ironman or something that has so many other events to do. But at a statewide event, at the state championships, Connor won both the under-19 and open beach flags and beach sprints. Not satisfied with that, he went on to the Aussies and finalled in 3 events, which was fantastic. But really, he's not just a beachy, and he medalled it in most disciplines at the state titles. And I must say I was really impressed with his effort. Being on the microphone and seeing that effort Well done, mate, and congratulations.
I think you're saying most events, Don. I think it was 17 out of 19. The first question that I ask you is, how is the neck?
A bit sore, actually. Yeah.
A bit sore from the weight of all the medals hanging around there, young man, a bit of bling?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, individual it's good, but I'm more there for the team events, and to medal in all the team events I was able to participate in was very worthwhile.
No, it's all about excellence for you at the moment. You're the athlete of the year, and I tell you what, over there you must be cock-a-hoot, Burnie. You've got a couple of cracking athletes here. Now, did you watch the Olympics? What about Rowan Browning with that 100 metres? Do you have your eyes sort of set on that? What's your times? You're obviously very slippery over the sand. How do you go over the 100 metres?
Oh, look, never good on grass. I never made the 100-metre final at school, so I'm sure 100-metre sprinting's not going to be my forte. I'm not going to be at the Olympics anytime soon, but you never know. 2032 at Brisbane, might have the beach sprints there, and don't know, I'll give it a shot.
Well, traditionally, as I say, I'm somewhat of a veteran of the caper, and back when we used to do the pre-seasons in footy, we'd be up and down the sand dunes. I'd expect I'm going, you correct me if I'm going in the wrong place, I'm talking about taking clothes off and stuff. If I took those strides off, have you got the muscles rippling from running in the sand?
Definitely not. No, definitely not. Actually, probably 20 minutes ago, I was just sitting over there and my hamstrings are cramping up. So, obviously, yeah.
Tell me just one thing before I let you sit down and we get a feed. How is it that you juggle the studies? Because I think you're in grade 12 as well, is that correct?
No, I finished grade 12 last year.
Okay, so how do you do that?
You just got to prioritise things. Obviously, I do two sports. I do football as well. So to juggle three things at one time in end of last year for study, surf club and football as well, it is a bit challenging, but you just got to focus on things that are more important at that certain amount of time. So in the back year it's study, then it's surf, and then towards the later part of the year you can focus a little bit on football as well.
Fantastic. As I know, as an employer, if you look at a CV and you can see that someone's involved in surf life saving, undergoing studies, and turns up and commits to this sport, you're very, very employable, young man. So that's fantastic. Congratulations for your efforts tonight. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
As I finish up, I just want to recognise the members of the Surf Sports Executive that have worked very hard this year, and they are Andrew Towns, Brent Armistead, Craig McKinnon, Liz Eustace, Kathy Woodhouse, Deacon Spicer and Anthony Chapman. And I guess without the work that they did, we wouldn't have had such a successful season. Thank you.
So thanks very much to Don and Anita. Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a break. As you can see, the food's coming out. So our friends out there watching, now's the time to put the billy on or go to the fridge and get some more champers out. We hope you're enjoying the night. And I'll tell you what, you're doing a great night. But tell you what, for very active people, seeing you sit still for so long, very well done. Tick. Good work. Let's come back and enjoy the second half very shortly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can ask you to please grab your seats again now, we'll kick off again, please. Thank you. All right, so we now move on to our Education Awards, and if I can now please invite Julian Hickey and Felix Ellis to come forward to make our presentations for Trainer of the Year. Thank you.
Gee, done a Don Marsh. Must be an age thing, Don. Now to the Awards of Excellence and Trainer of the Year. And the three nominations were Moira Black from Carlton Park, Megan Hampton from Bicheno, and Steph Prendergast from Burnie, who all did a remarkable job of training in what was a difficult year. So I would like to announce that Megan Hampton of Bicheno Surf Life Saving Club is our Trainer of the Year. And Greg Bird has accepted on her behalf. Now, even though Megan was relatively new to Surf Life Saving movement, she willingly stepped in to help out her club Bicheno in the important area of training, and as we know, Bicheno is a relatively young club developing. Last season, Megan personally trained 11 new bronze and surf rescue certificates, and they achieved their respective awards due to her outstanding standard of training, and all candidates gained their award in the most professional manner. Megan's ability to communicate with both the senior and junior members was one of the keys to all candidates achieving success. In addition to Megan's training commitments, she was also Bicheno's club Nipper coordinator, and in addition to participating in training session on Warbs Bay Beach, Megan also mentored junior age managers for her club. So a terrific effort, and congratulations Megan, and well done Bird.
Yeah, it's a little bit problematic, that, isn't it? So, yeah, so Greg, it's not that he didn't want to chat, but I think that was beautifully summed up. No, you stay there, old boy. It's fantastic that Bicheno is involved, of course, and I think on that East Coast, and yeah, as you just said, does a lot of training. So if I may ask Joe Stollop to please come forward, please, and Felix, you stay there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's my absolute pleasure to talk about Community Education Program of the Year, and we have one nominee in that area, and I'm talking about the Silver Salties, and I would like to think, but for the absolute expertise of my hairdresser, that's where I go as well. And we have a huge untapped resource that one of our clubs have done an incredible job of bringing onto the beach and helping us with everything that we do on a daily basis. So without further ado, Penguin Surf Life Saving Club, I believe Alison might be here to come forward and speak about that award.
Well, unlike your hairdresser, mine's not doing quite so well, and I think I sort of fit into this category. G'day again, Alison, nice to see you here. I'm very interested in what it said has had walk and talk to start with. Just tell me a little bit about the infancy and how this came about.
Yeah, so Silver Salties is a national surf life saving program that's been rolled out, and we're the first sort of club to take it on here in Tassie. It's a fabulous initiative. It's got great support through the funding of Sports Australia's Better Ageing Grant. So the main key with it is active ageing and social connections. So we kicked it off with a bit of an information session and about what surf life saving is and varying different things, which led to our walk and talk program. And we were surprised that even in December we had some people wanting to get in the water and catch waves. So we went into that area as well.
And what about the growth of it? So from its infancy, is it growing?
I might hand over to Ken on that one because I sort of set it up, but these guys have been driving it, so he can probably tell you a little bit more about who's been coming along and what's been happening.
No, it's certainly growing, and there's a place in the community for it to keep older people active and to not only keep their body active but to keep their mind active. And even in the summertime we run a water section which is run by one of the club members and his partner, and some of the oldies even go in and crack a wave. So it's it's really going well, and as I say, there's just a space in the community for it.
So I think you're doing, is it yoga, first aid, fire safety, Tai Chi, and I dare say if it looks like club history, that might have something to do with you.
I'm guilty, yes. But we have a variety of speakers. Some come from the club, and we're lucky enough to get some outsiders. We had a very interesting lady last Thursday, Pam Smith. She was the originator of Smith's bus travelling, and she gave us a complete history of her life in the bus business. And she really entertained us. She's a very gifted speaker and kept everybody entertained for about 3/4 of an hour.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, and congratulations on the award. Thank you. Do your notes.
Thank you. So my next one is the Innovation Award, and we had two nominees for this category, and I would like to indulge you for a moment while I speak about both of them because they both had absolute merit, and as a panel we're really keen to see both of those programs head forward regardless of who the actual winner is. One was the Sisters in Surf for Boat Harbour, and in considering the milestone of 40 years of women in surf life saving in Tasmania, Boat Harbour contemplated what they could do to market. So instead of just looking inward to their own club, they looked out from a Tasmanian perspective to instigate an all-female patrol to start the season. But after reaching out to other clubs via social media and the SLST newsletter, along with many personal conversations and some networks that they were really well able to tap into, Boat Harbour were overwhelmed with support. 10 out of the 14 Tasmanian clubs held a female-only patrol on the 6th of December 2020, and mainland clubs, as a result of that, also took up the call. There was significant media interest and positive exposure for women in surf life saving, something that we're really trying to continue now. Boat Harbour Surf Life Saving intend to continue with this theme, potentially in a fundraising capacity for both charity and clubs in order to make the innovation sustainable. The innovation highlighted some capability gaps for Boat Harbour, perhaps some that you will see in your own clubs, and they will be able to use this for future planning and development of members. For example, women are underrepresented when it comes to IRB driving. Clubs were able to utilise the opportunity to celebrate long-standing and significant members with a view to continuing to grow women in surf life saving and looking forward to 50 years, which, before we blink, will be here. The other innovation that needs absolute kudos is the SRC program run by Clifton Beach. In considering ways to keep younger members engaged as part of their strategic planning process, they looked to their Surf Rescue Certificate program for under 14s. They reached out to other southern clubs, collaborating collegially with Carlton Park, SLST, in order to deliver a joint SRC program. Now, this had significant benefits, and I was personally involved in that. It was sharing the training role and the load, which was a huge advantage, and inter-club relationships between the peers. And I see those kids on the beach now who are absolute mates every day. Clifton Beach also utilised the opportunity to transition and integrate their under-14s into patrols and instigated flexible patrol hours, no requirement for patrol swaps for carnivals, and they found there was a significant engagement at events as the group enjoyed doing things like water safety together. So one of them would put up their hand and all of a sudden they had everyone wanted to go and do that. They are looking to the future with the creation of a transition officer, a role to guide these young members from junior to senior ranks and potential trips interstate once COVID willing, we move along so that they can have a look at large-scale patrols interstate. So I wanted to mention both innovations as absolutely credible and something other clubs can look to and perhaps consider taking up into the future. But there can only be one winner, and that's our sisters in Surf for Boat Harbour.
Thank you. I think that deserves to be right up on the stage when you're a winner. And we can come up, that's all right. I suppose we have COVID and we've got to keep that metre distance, but this is a fantastic award. And it's interesting, if you do look at Surf Life Saving Tasmania, and I did a bit of due diligence, and you go to a number of the websites and see how many women in executive positions. I stay right here, and I was fascinated, a local club, I'm from Clifton community, but I look at Carlton Park, and there was the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, manager of Life Saving, and then there was this two sort of paltry men just sort of hanging on down the bottom. So it shows the dominance or the coming of age of women. So it's a great initiative, and here's a young woman in front of me who's doing it, so congratulations for that. What does it mean, this initiative, for you?
I think it mainly just means putting the word out there for women to come into Surf Life Saving, and as it is, like as Stephen said, a goal for SLST in the coming years, if Boat Harbour can just be a small part of that, promoting it around the state, around the country is just really huge for us. Like, as a small club, big thing, really gets members engaged, especially females that might think, oh, don't know about that one. Yeah, it's just really important to keep people coming in and keep the interest within females within Surf Life Saving.
Now, for someone as youthful as you wouldn't remember when you weren't equal as such, if you like. I can remember back in the day when my dear old mum was the president of the Bowls Club and my dad was president of the Bowls Club, and mum wasn't allowed in sections of the Bowls Club. She had to wear a hat, she had to have a dress. I think it was 30 centimetres from the ground, have her stockings on. It was almost like second-class citizen where, you know, you were paving the way for all of those people for over the 40 years, and you're inspiring all the young nippers and the like to come through. I reckon it's a cracker of a thing, and congratulations on a magnificent achievement and initiative.
Thanks.
Thank you. So, thank you, Felix, and thank you, Joe, and my apologies, Joe, of course, is on the board of Surf Life Saving Tasmania. Can we now ask again, Julian, you're coming back up, and now the Honourable Roger Yench as well for some presentation. I think the first one is the Junior Lifesaver of the Year.
What's that, Steps?
Now, for those who are at the state titles, as you know, the Junior Lifesaver of the Year has already been announced, and the candidates or nominees presented at the Junior Surf Life Saving state titles. So I would like to ask Oceana if she's here to come forward again and receive her prize. So for those that weren't there, I'll just read out Oceana's CV. Oceana has been a nipper for a number of years and is this season's nipper captain at Ulverston Surf Life Saving Club. She has demonstrated continuing diligence in volunteering at the club whenever she can. In 2019, Oceana was awarded the prestigious Advocate Junior Female Rising Star. Whilst Oceana is a talented athlete in both surf sports and basketball, her knowledge and keenness shine through when discussing patrol duties and life saving in general. Her future aspirations are to continue with surf life saving at a high level, and this attitude epitomises the dedication that our surf life saving community deems so valuable in our young members. And I'd just like to thank Lynn Norton-Smith, Mark Lehman and Anne Balloon for being on that selection panel. Well done, Oceana. Very good.
2020 marks the 40th anniversary of women's involvement in active surf life-saving duties. Surf Life Saving Tasmania is celebrating this important anniversary and the achievements of women over the past 40 years. So it is with great honour that I received the 2020 and 2021 Tasmania Junior Surf Lifesaver of the Year award. It is hard to imagine that in the early years women were not strong enough to operate the equipment or swim in heavy surf. The Surf Life Saving Association, believe it or not, even banned women from qualifying for the bronze medallion and therefore from patrolling. What a contrast this is compared to my generation, where I've recently been able to complete my SRC and also patrol my local community beach at Ulverston. Women have gradually made their way into surf life saving and working tirelessly behind the scenes, including women gradually having the ability to compete and flourish in surf life saving carnivals. And don't I certainly love a carnival. I have been actively competing in carnivals since under 8s. I enjoy all aspects of surf carnivals. I give every single event everything, from a sprint to a board, my 100% effort. I reflect this proudly, being the top competitor in my age group for the last 2 years. In an event, I might have my game face on, but it is also at these carnivals that have given me the opportunity to make lifelong friends from clubs around the state. This year, I received the prestigious award called the Minnie Wilson Memorial Award. This represents a legacy to make exceptional contributions to surf life saving in Tasmania. Being a surf lifesaver is unique. So instead of standing alone in the spotlight, let's all feel proud to spread the message of surf life saving, creating great Australians and building healthy and safe communities. Surf life saving is truly kindness at its best for our community. My focus as a surf lifesaver is to support and continue to share my passion for surf life saving to the younger generations. Thank you.
Well, we can see that the young ladies are getting a lot more confident and competent and doing MCs out of a gig. But anyway, Julian, you'll push on.
Right. Next Life Saving Award is the Youth Surf Lifesaver of the Year. And the nominations are Grace Harlan from Burnie, Lachlan Frame from Port Sorell, Morgan Evans, Bicheno, Murphy Knowles, Ulverston, Jenna Stacey, Clifton Beach, and Olivia Smith, Kingston Beach. Right, without further ado, I would like to announce that Murphy Knowles from Ulverston is the Ampol Youth Surf Lifesaver of the Year. Murphy was a standout candidate for this award. Though each of the questions he was very thorough in that questions were put to him with his answers, and it was evident that he was very much aware of the big picture. For example, when we asked him, what could your club do to attract more youth to come into the movement, his reply was, attracting youth equals attracting parents and families, and we needed mums and dads to bring them along, so therefore it could be a double win by getting the parents involved as well. He's very passionate about the youth. Several of our speakers are here tonight, and very passionate about that and having a youth voice, and excited about working on the Pathway Poster program that has been designed to show the youth what their pathway opportunities can be within surf lifesaving. He delivered a consistent message on having a clear and precise pathway for those who wish to develop their skill set in lifesaving and being able to undertake their relevant courses. So congratulations, Murphy, very well done.
So beautifully put. There's not a lot more I want to add, but I think it's prudent that we just honour what you've done and the achievements that you've gone in front. I'm looking here at, can you remember the amount of awards that you've done this year?
Not entirely, I've done a couple.
I'm not going to go through them all because I'll be up here longer than my esteemed Kenny Knight. Will be here all night, but it's absolutely outstanding. So you amongst other things, are very versatile too with your Medallion Beach. You've got all the different awards, but I come back to the Youth Pathways thing. You're very heavily involved in that and assisting people like, whether it be Tony, on where surf life saving should go. So if you were to take over from the president down there, Stephen, where would you head this fantastic organisation? Tell me your vision, son.
I just think the youth have to be embraced. We had really good legwork getting the youth advisory group up and running. Had a bit of a standstill of late. Don't know where that's headed, Tony, but hopefully that gets up and going.
Oh, you're on notice, Tony.
Yeah, but I think just embracing the youth. We had monthly, weekly meetings there for a while. We got the Youth Pathways project up and going. We engaged an infographic designer to get that complete, but yeah, excited to get that out this season, hopefully.
And the development camp, is it correct that you went on that and then you went back as a presenter and even then made the video to get more people to do it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Life Saving development camp. That really sparked my interest for life saving and the work Chris Jacobson's done to get that up and running, and now continued by Nick Wood and countless others from around the state. I think it's a really good program and I hope it is continued in the future. But as a candidate, the scenario-based training I really enjoyed because you learn all those skills at Surf Club. I don't know, patrols aren't that productive, don't have that much going on, but so getting to really put those skills into practice in live scenarios, the car crash, just various other things, I think it's really beneficial, and that continues right throughout your life. Like, I now want to either study paramedicine or med, so just goes to show what the Life Saving Development Camp can do, and then continue going back as a leader the year after to continue to share that passion with all the other up-and-coming youth as well.
Talking of youth, we've got one or two politicians. Now, I'm not trying to say anything here, Jeremy or Anita, but I tell you what, I'd be signing some of these roosters up to be the next politicians. I think the state will be in very, very good hands. Congratulations to all of our winners, but especially you for taking up the award.
Thank you.
Stay there, Roger. I'll hold it for you.
Okay. The next award is the Westpac Surf Life Saver of the Year. And the nominations are Donna Scott from Ulverston, Jessie Beveridge Port Sorell, Natasha Marshall Kingston Beach, Sarah McDonald, I hope I pronounced that correctly, from Clifton Beach, and Dean Dunham from Penguin. So I could ask those nominees to come forward, please. Right. Look, before I announce the winner, I'd just like to thank the clubs that did nominate their Surf Life Savers of the Year. I think that all clubs should endeavour to put forward a nomination because it's recognition within your club for people that do a great job within your club. So they might be administration, they might be patrol members. It's just a great award to be recognised in. But in saying that, I would like to announce that Dean Dunham is this year's Surf Life Saver of the Year. For those that know Dean, he's never short of a word, but he has been around Penguin Surf Life Saving Club for over 40 years. This season he's been a diligent patrol captain and holding several life-saving awards that enable him to be a patrol captain. He has managed Penguin's under-23 surf boat crew for the past 6 years, and their reward was earlier tonight. And with his commitment to growing club membership, he's also managed to sweep the under-19 crew and the women's crew while on very rare occasions sweeping and rowing himself. Is that right, Dean? Yeah. Dean is a valued and active life member of the Penguin Surf Life Saving Club and supports all members to embrace and enjoy the Penguin Club for everything it has to offer. Dean is welcoming, encouraging and supportive to all. He conducted 47 hours of patrol last season, more than double the amount that he was rostered on for, and was always willing to fill in where needed or assist with water safety. As a veteran patrolling member, he is reliable, positive and professional, and has been an integral part of Penguin's patrol service, and also develops role models for that particular part of the club. It is leadership which has driven the most significant achievement. He's been a modest and key player in reshaping the Penguin Club's life-saving commitments. Not only did he assist to ensure we can comfortably meet Penguin's Surf Life Saving Service Agreement, but he focused and delivered on volunteer experience. Penguin Surf Life Saving Club's active members over 18 years of age hit a low 19 members in 2016. At this time, Dean evaluated the most effective use to increase that number, and his sole focus was to do that, and in doing that he rebuilt the boat section as to get numbers. So therefore this season Penguin had 50 over 18 active members, a 62% increase in 5 years. So Dean, I won't go on any further because you'll have your say, mate, and we've only got a little bit of time. So once again, congratulations, Dean.
Cheers. I was just saying after that, and I tell you what, it seems a pretty popular win there. The crowd was up and about when your name was called up, and so involved in surf life saving, is it, I'm saying, over 40 years?
Yeah, been a while.
That's very modest.
I was lucky enough to join, and Shane Clark
Yes.
started our Nipper club back in 1973, and I was in the first group that Shane, and other people I'm sure, but I just remember Shane being the instigator of that. Wasn't he, Ken? Yeah, Mona? And so 73, and apart from a couple of overseas teaching stints and whatnot, I've been involved with our club all of that time.
Fantastic. I was just interested to drill down slightly in that back in 2016 when it went to a low 19 numbers, and then you decided, let's just concentrate on one thing, and my intel tells me you are, if I got this terminology right, a boatie, and so you decided, well, let's hone in on one particular discipline, of which that was your thing, and by default then those people became patrolling members and brought people along. Tell me about how that went about.
Yeah, look, I was lucky enough to be, and am unashamedly, a boatie. We were lucky enough to have a terrific history in boating, and I know through the 80s and early 90s, and in fact right through the 90s, but my tenure, if you like, as part of that boat section, whilst we had a strong boat section, we had a strong club, because every boat crew effectively becomes and can be a patrolling group. So you bolster your base, your member base. And yeah, I was lucky enough to have, and I know there's an individual award, but really it's a bit of a cliche, but it's not just an individual, and that's the beauty of our whole organisation, is there is something in our organisation for absolutely everyone. And often people find things they didn't even really set out to take up. They just sort of fell into it. I know people who've fallen into boat crews and then just loved it, and that becomes another part of their passion. And so, yeah, we, and I say we because I was able to, and I've said this a lot over the last few years, you surround yourself with good people, good things happen. And we've been lucky enough, and I was extremely lucky to have a core group of young boys that were committed. They weren't nippers, any of them, but they came from Year 10, the Penguin High School, and we were able to get them into a boat, and we were able to sort of snare them, if you like, and the rest is history, because all of them have been through the development camp. They've got their, a couple of them have are patrol captains. Nick, obviously, most people know Nick and his achievements. So you can take it as far as you like, or just as little as you can. But in doing that, we were able to bring back some of the old rowers who'd lost contact, and some of those old rowers have become coaches and just become part of the club again, and that helps to build your generational base as well, which is really important, particularly from a club that's had a strong history.
Well, there's one thing I've learnt. There's one thing you can't invent or hide, and that's passion. And from what I can see from that, you and I could be going all night, but you're exuding passion from every pore in your skin, and congratulations on your victory tonight. But you want one more?
Yeah, no, I just want to say a big
well,
thank you to a couple of people, and I really want to highlight the executive leadership that we've got at Penguin. It culminated in us being the Australian Club of the Year last season, and that's in no due or small part to a fantastic management group that have a vision and they are prepared to do the work that's required to see that come to fruition. I really would also like to thank my family, and particularly Kathy, Max, of course, and George, and Keely was involved, but people go on their own pathways, but I really do appreciate all the support that they give. Make it worthwhile.
Brilliant. Thank you, and congratulations.
Congratulations to everyone else.
Well done, mate. That's fantastic.
Okay. The last award I need to do tonight is the Patrol Club of the Year. Now, this award was brought in basically by myself and the Life Saving Executive because we saw a bit of a void in our Life Saving awards, if you like, that the Premier Club changed to a national award. So we decided to make an award for the best patrolling club. For those that don't know, every club in the state mainly gets 4 assessments a year. So they have 3 assessors from their own area and then an assessor that does every club in the state. The assessor of the state that did every club, 70% of their mark went towards this award, and the local assessors, 30% went towards their award. So I don't know if we've got the slide up, but I would like to announce that Boat Harbour won the Patrol Club of the Year. I've been overridden here. I wanted to put the points up, but somehow they've disappeared. But I would like to say that this award and the marks for patrolling were so close that I went to decimal points to work out the placings for this. So the top 5 or 6 clubs were within about 4 points of each other. So it was really quite good. And it's great to see that from a life-saving executive point of view and patrolling point of view, our clubs do a really, really good job of keeping our beaches safe. Thank you.
Very shy there. Congratulations very much. Thank you, Julian. Congratulations to Boat Harbour for that award, and thank you very much, Roger, for there. And so now we have our second and last break, where we have our dessert, and we'll be back to finish off with the last couple of awards. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can just ask you maybe to be seated, and we'll push on and conclude the evening's proceedings. So, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the pointy end and we have 2 more awards left this evening. We have the Volunteer of the Year and the Club of the Year. So if I can please ask Liz Eustace to come forward, our newly crowned official of the year, and the Honourable Jeremy Rockcliffe MP to also come forward as well. Thank you.
I'm up here tonight to present the DHL Volunteer of the Year. Can I please call the nominees forward? So we've got Linda Dyer from Kingston Beach Surf Club, Neil Hargraves from Port Sorell Surf Club, Nicholas Canales from Penguin Surf Club, Paul Booth from Ulverston Surf Club, Stuart Payne, Burnie Surf Club, and Eleanor Canales, Clifton Beach Surf Club. On behalf of myself, Craig McKinnon and Paul Wilmot, who were the panellists for interviewing our Volunteer of the Year nominees, we'd like to thank all the nominees and for the clubs for putting up their nominations. All 6 of these nominees interviewed have put in countless hours of volunteering this past season across a numerous number of areas within their clubs and the greater organisation. They shared details of their involvement within Surf Life Saving, how they became involved, and their passion as to why and what they do. All nominees have achieved so much for their respective Surf Life Saving clubs, and as such, the panel had to spend significant time deliberating over this year's winner. I'd like to congratulate the Surf Life Saving Tas Volunteer of the Year, Neil Hargraves, Port Sorell Surf Club. Over the past 12 months, Neil has spent many hours volunteering at his home club, Port Sorell. In his interview, Neil reckons he has contributed to over 1,400 hours actively volunteering this season. Neil, though relatively new to Surf Life Saving, applies his business, emergency management and leadership skills to the roles of club registrar, public relations manager and training manager, along with his limitless enthusiasm to other areas of the club. He's also an active patrolling member, part of the emergency response team, under 8/under 9 age manager, technical official, as well as gaining his IRB certificate and silver medallion beach management this past season. Neil has established a training management system with a detailed training needs analysis for his club, developing training pathways for Port Sorell's active members, as well as establishing a knowledge management system to assist trainers with the delivery of Surf Life Saving Awards. Neil has been a strong advocate for the adoption of online assessment tools and is currently actively encouraging assessors in fellow Northwest clubs to adopt technology. His greatest satisfaction at being a volunteer in Surf Life Saving is kids having fun to keep them smiling on the beach while providing role models, the right qualification, fostering leadership skills while supporting each other in this ever-changing world. Neil's knowledge and system developments are something that Neil would like to see share with all clubs within Tasmania, and he's currently liaising with Surf Life Saving Tasmania on these concepts and where to go from here. Congratulations, Neil.
Neil, why don't you go over that way, given I'm just on this side. That's fine. I'm also very much involved in a variety of different sports, and one of the sports I'm involved with is footy. And some of the strategic things we look at and the problems they encounter is volunteerism. and getting new people involved. So I say to you, why do you give of your time to your community?
I guess it's been mentioned already tonight that Surf Life Saving is a little bit different than a lot of other organisations in the community. I've been involved with volunteer emergency services. I've been a professional AMBO as well. I've given my time to the community in youth groups, but nothing in the community exists like Surf Life Saving does that actually brings all of those things together. So although I'm relatively new to Surf Life Saving, I think once I found a home here, and I started because my daughter started Nippers, like many people, I saw jobs that needed doing, and I had some skills that I thought would benefit the club, and I applied what I could and what I knew to help the club, and hopefully those systems that we're delivering, which is hopefully I'm trying to do myself out of a job of making my life easier, but to roll that kind of stuff out across the clubs to make the life of all of our volunteers easier is my aim.
It's interesting, so looking down at what you do, it's not only in this organisation, but whether it be soccer and school and that sort of thing as well, so reasonably busy life.
Yes, balancing work and volunteering is a challenge, but I've got it down to a bit of a fine art. No, you can't do it without the support of the other volunteers, and it seems a bit silly to be standing here in front of a room full of volunteers getting an award for volunteerism, but you can't do it without the support of your club over there in Port Sorell, but also all the other volunteers that make Surf Life Saving happen, all the events happen, the carnivals happen, make the life saving happen. It's just a huge effort, and I think there was a figure of 20,000 patrol hours mentioned earlier in the evening, and I tried to think how many volunteering hours we put in that are not measured. Outside of that, it's probably a factor of 10. It's probably 200,000 hours of volunteering time that goes into running our clubs. So it's a pleasure to be part of the organisation, and fantastic to be able to give back to the community.
As you said, everyone within the room here is giving of their time as members. If someone's watching out there and you say, just look down the barrel down there, and if you could say to them, why is it that you would get involved? If they get them off the couch and give them the quick benefits, give a bit of a recruitment.
Surf Life Saving provides so many opportunities, not only to develop yourself, but to help develop your kids and your community. Just get involved. It's a perfect organisation for that.
Perfect. Congratulations. Excellent. Congratulations to everyone, and well done and well deserved. Thank you. No, you're there. I had you down to be... Sorry. It is Joe. Sorry. My apologies. So while there's excitement of getting those photos taken, if I can ask Joe, please, to come back up for the most prestigious Club of the Year. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Club of the Year. We have some amazing and outstanding clubs across our community. They are all amazing and outstanding. As we've just heard, the volunteer hours, the things that people put in, perhaps those hours that aren't counted, all do count for our communities. And I think Surf Life Saving Tasmania is synonymous with that brand. Everybody knows who we are, and they know what we do, and they depend on us for what we do. So every club can be congratulated for that. But we do have an award for Club of the Year, and probably weren't as overwhelmed with nominations as we would like to have been in the early stages of this award this year. But it is an incredibly important award, and we did have a nomination. And could I ask Clifton to come forward, because they are the people that bothered to really put the work into this, and they've got the backup and the work that sits behind it. But I do want to talk about them a little bit. So in submitting their application for Club of the Year, they looked at their past season, they evaluated their results, and they looked into the future with their 3-year strategic plan. This is a club that's really going places. Statistically, they advise they are the biggest surf life-saving club in Tasmania, and they've achieved this by focusing upon developing and building relationships with the Eastern Shore community. Their Nippers program has been a significant contributor to this increase, and I spoke about that a little bit earlier with the innovation that they did along their SRC and some of their pathways. The club are seeing returning young members who are bringing along parents to be active patrolling members, and they're doing that transition really well. So can I please thank them for taking the time to nominate and to providing the evidence that shows that they are truly deserving of Club of the Year.
Yep. Thanks, Jane. Well, congratulations to Clifton. I have to say I live at Cremorne, so this is my local club just down the way, and my children are 27 and 25, and when they were nippers I went along and had a crack down there, so I'll say my club's got the chocolates. And I remember last year talking very fondly to a very, very dear mate of mine whom I went through school together, Craig Rogerson, who was then the president. I know if Rojo's watching, I know he's just had another grandchild. Congratulations to all the work that he's done. He'd be really, really thrilled. But I'm interested then just to have a quick chat about the club, because I looked at what you told us. You said you needed to look at recruitment of new members, retention and development of the current members, improve your life-saving capacity and connect with the community. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing for recruitment?
So our focus are our junior members. That's the lifeblood of the club, and that's the future of the club. So I myself, I started at the club approximately 8 years ago, and I think we were down to about 50 nippers. I think last season we were about 140 again, and we've maintained those numbers over the last 3 or 4 years. The growth we've seen was started off by Mark Godfrey, and I think I'd like to dedicate this award to Mark, because he came back in the club as club president at the time, and from that point onwards we turned the club round. Then Roger came in, obviously, so kudos to Roger. But this award's really focused for our nippers, because without our nippers we wouldn't have a club. They bring our parents in, our parents get the bronze awards, they go on to other positions within the club, so the future are the nippers.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about then connection with the community as well? Because it is a different club in relation to when you drive up here, and of course just down the street, the wonderful facility that is the Burnie Surf Life Saving Club is right in smack bang in the middle of the town, like in all the communities as you drive through the northwest coast, which I just absolutely love. Yours is kind of at the end of the line, and it actually boasts the southernmost club in Australia. Is that still right, or has Kingston got the chocolates?
No, we've still got the chocolates on that one.
Which is quite apt, isn't it, with the polar bear?
Polar bear. Everyone likes the polar bear. They know that mascot.
Yeah. So what are you doing within the community then to engage with them?
Yeah.
To be relevant?
So we've really invested in the local community, in the Cremorne, Lauderdale areas and that, but the whole Eastern Shore, but particularly through Lauderdale. Like when I came in, there was only about 8 kids from Lauderdale School that were members. So every year we've done that, and we've increased that going forward. So it's investing in your local community and creating those connections. They're probably true, there was some disconnect at one stage. So we've built on that now. We've got fantastic relationships right through the whole Eastern Shore and beyond the Eastern Shore.
And also tell me a little bit about, if someone else wants to talk, about the performance of the club.
Yeah.
Because I think there was something that happened in the last year that maybe hasn't happened before. Winning in the...
So...
Come on, now's your chance to spruik what you've been doing, son.
Yeah, so it was the first time in the club's history we won both the junior and state carnivals at Clifton Beach. So no one at the club could actually ever remember that happening before. So that was an outstanding achievement. But our whole focus is the patrols. the surf sports and everything supports that. And we know that if we can keep our kids coming through, if we can give them really good engagement programs through the surf sports, the training and so forth, they'll want to stay at the club, and that means we can do our patrols and keep the beach safe. And that's what we're there for.
Fantastic. Well, I think it's a wonderful thing that you've won, obviously put in on the track with all the initiatives that you've done, and congratulations to Clifton Beach. Well done.
Thank you.
There is Clifton Beach, our club of the year. Thank you very much, Joe. Well, it's Clifton Beach, meander off in there to the sunset for their photograph. Thank you very much indeed, Jeremy, for that presentation as well. That sort of ends up a little bit toward the end of the night, but there just are one or two thank yous, if I may, before we wind up. Thank you very much to our hosts, the Burnie Central Townhouse Hotel. I tell you what, the food was tremendous, worth driving up from Hobart for. That was just absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for our presenters for coming along tonight. We thank you very much. I'd also like to thank, just behind, almost hiding, yes, come on Karen, Karen very much for all the work that she's done here. Yeah, it says what your title is, but I think we have to add a few things. You do a wonderful job in this organisation. Congratulations to you. Thank you for, I think, Ned, who was taking photographs and helping out there as well. Thank you very much to our friends down the back there, the broadcasting partners of tonight. We'll say they're Duff TV, so Martin and Jerry, congratulations on a great performance down there. I guess all we need to do now is have a very safe season, drive safely, and as I can see, there is some genuine warmth with the friendship that you all make here. Please enjoy the rest of the evening, and a good night for you, and look forward to seeing you maybe again next year. Cheerio.